Hi guys, Namaste. I am Manisha Varma and today I am going to introduce very first Indian food show, Indian Aroma with Rogers TV Fredericton. In this food show, each episode we will meet one host and they will share different Indian cuisine recipe with you. Recipe would be easy, simple and of course delicious. So today I am going to introduce Vandana Sahni. Hi Vandana.
Hi Manishari,
How
thank
are
you so
you?
much. I'm doing great.
Very welcome to Indian Aroma.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, Vandana, say something about you.
So I have been in Fredericton for almost 4 years. We moved from India, and it's been a great community. We have got a lot of love and support from the people, and I just enjoy and love being here now.
Yeah, that's really great. And what is your passion?
So my passion is cooking. As you know, I am a mom to a 13-year-old boy, and child, like kids, they like to enjoy different kind of foods. So, and I believe in a lot of healthy cooking, so I like to cook food at my own home with the natural ingredients that we can use from the kitchen. So I enjoy baking, cooking for my family, for my friends.
I know, and I know about your Bake Me Happiness.
Yes, it's, as I said, that the community has given me a lot of love and support. Baking is something that has been a passion for the past 15 years, but I really started baking professionally when I moved here to Fredericton, and it's been
Good.
It's been a great ride so far.
Yeah, so that is our motive because our community is growing up and so many Indian people here and even Canadian people, they love Indian food and Indian flavors. So we really want to share kind of really authentic cuisines, Indian cuisines, and of course it would be little easy but and delicious as well at the same time.
Yes.
So what are you going to share today?
So I want to break that myth today. I think a lot of people think that Indian cooking is very time intensive. There's a lot of effort that is required. So that is why I want to show the basic chicken curry that is almost weekend routine in our houses, and I want to show how you can use them, making the most basic ingredients that are available in your pantry. So I would just to start, I would like to introduce some of the basic spices that we use in India, and there are a lot of health benefits. We also use them for aroma to add flavor, but these are completely optional. I understand that some of the spices might not be easily available, so you don't have to worry about that. If those spices are not available, you can also omit them from the recipe. But as long as you have onions, some tomatoes, and garlic, ginger, we are good to go with the curry. Yeah. So I will start with this plate here. Mm-hmm. These are some of the spices that we use in most of our curries because they add a lot of flavor and aroma.
Right.
So these are the black peppercorn that we use. These we can either use them in like whole form, or we can also ground them. These black peppercorns, they add a little bit of heat to the dish, and they're also good for digestion.
Okay.
Then we have the star anise, which will add a little tanginess to the dish. We have black cardamom here and green cardamom. Mm-hmm. These two spices really provide a depth of flavor to the dish. The green cardamom really smells amazing.
True, is aroma.
Yes, and this is like really versatile. You can put this in sweet dishes as well as savory dishes.
Right.
These are the cloves that we use in most of the curries. Again, this will provide some heat and some warmth to the dish. Very has medicinal properties as well. And these are bay leaves that we.
I think bay leaves is very kind of really famous here.
Yes.
So many people knows about. So yeah.
Yes. So I think with the exception of star anise, like black peppercorn, easily available, bay leaves easily available. You can also find green cardamom in your local stores. So these spices really add a lot of flavor, a lot of a little bit of heat,
right.
A little bit of aroma, which really makes it special.
True.
So once we are done with the whole spices here, we move on to the base of the curry, which will involve some onions, some garlic, ginger, and green chilies, and don't be scared with the amount of the green chilies that you see here. It is
True,
just
they
we
can-
like a little bit of
They can
more heat.
exactly.
But if you like normal
Less
gravy or
spice
less
and
spicy,
yes.
you can adjust that
Right, right,
quantity.
right. Any specific kind of onion you use or doesn't matter?
So it depends what is available.
Right.
As I said, that when you're a mom, you have to really make do with what you have available.
Mm-hmm.
At this point of time, I had the white onion, so I used them. I also use red onion,
Okay.
but it is a little more pungent than the
True.
white one.
Yes.
So we can do with a mix of them. We can either use red or white, or we can do with just the one of them.
Okay, okay. And you are going to use tomatoes.
Yes.
So if some people like to use like ready-made paste or something, so would you prefer or not really?
So again, if you are short on time, you can use, because I understand that everybody is so busy
Okay.
and you don't have the time to use it. But fresh ingredients really add a lot of freshness to the dish, and there are no preservatives,
True,
which I don't want to add in my home cooking. So I like to use fresh ingredients. But if you're short on time, I'm not judging at all. You can use what you have.
Okay, yeah. But if you are looking really healthy kind of
Yes.
stuff and recipe and elements, and then
Yes.
so fresh tomato would be
Yeah, you can just cut them, and either you can chop them and put them in the gravy,
Right.
or you can also grind them. So I feel that
right. And what is this?
okay, so this is something that I really want everybody to show.
Right.
because This is something which is staple to every Indian household. This is the spice box. So, Manisha, you go to any Indian house, you will see that
True.
you will find this in every kitchen.
I know.
And this will have some standard items, which is like, one is the salt, and then you will find the red chili powder, you will find the ground coriander powder, turmeric. And turmeric is like one of the ingredients which we use in almost all our dishes, because it has antioxidant properties. It is also anti-inflammatory. So really helps with all the food that we eat. So helps with helps
And
with the
very handy
digestion.
also, because
Very
we use
handy.
every day. So
Yes,
yeah,
very
you just-
handy. You don't have to pull one box each. You
True.
can just pull out the spice box, add it to the curry, and you're done.
Yeah.
So we will also be using some yogurt for our curry base, because it will add some creamy texture. It will also help in balancing the heat with the cream of the yogurt. So these are the ingredients that we'll be using. And so I have used around 2 medium onions, around 10 cloves of garlic, half an inch of ginger, and 5 to 6 green chilies
Okay.
for 750 grams of chicken.
Okay. So what is our next step?
So we are going to grind these ingredients so that the curry is smooth.
Right.
So I'll just move to the grinding process. To start up the curry base, what we will do is we'll put everything in the grinder. Generally, we grind the garlic and the ginger separately, but I like to grind everything, at one go. Makes it easy, makes it quick. When I'm short on time, I don't have to, grind these things separately. So I'll put everything in the jar.
That will save time also, right?
That will
So,
save a
yeah.
lot of time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, because everyone has a short of time every day, and they want to cook and something make delicious, right? So
Yes.
this is good idea.
This is really helpful. Like I usually, when I get up from work after 5, I just chop everything, put it in the blender, and
Okay.
then we are going to blend it. I think we'll come back for this later.
Okay.
So what we do is we might need a little water if it is not, because we want a smooth paste.
Right.
So first I'll just try and blend it like this. If we need, then we can add a little water if required.
Yeah,
So. Okay, it seems like we will have to add a little bit of water. So I'll just go ahead.
So yeah, they need to use common sense little, and then what amount water they need, they can put it in, right? Yeah.
I would say like 2 tablespoons of water is
okay,
enough.
that would be fine.
Because if you have a lot of water, then it will take a lot of time to roast the paste. And we are good.
Yeah,
What
this
we
looks
can
perfect. Yeah.
Yes. So we will need this kind of consistency.
Right.
Let me just show it. So this is the consistency that we'll
Right.
need.
So it's not should be very kind of thin or very kind of thick.
It doesn't have to be runny. It has to be in the paste format.
Right.
So this is the base of the gravy that we have ready here with onions, tomatoes, onions, garlic, ginger, and some green chili.
Right.
So the next step, what we're going to do is we are going to heat some oil, put all the spices into it, let them crackle, let them leave the aroma into the oil, and then we'll go ahead and put the onion base that we have created.
Right. So those things is a really basic need to make the chicken curry,
This
right?
is something that you will find in your home almost all the time.
Right.
As you said that if people are short on time, you can also use ready-made ginger or garlic paste.
Right.
Like as per your convenience.
Yeah. Is there any option for those spices? Because like sometimes people does not have or they don't want. So any other option for these or?
Yes, I would say again, I can understand if everybody does not have this in their house at all times.
Right.
You can also buy some ready-made chicken masala, curry masala.
Curry masala.
It will have a blend of all these spices in it. So once you make the basic gravy with the tomatoes, ginger, garlic, and onions, after that you can add the chicken curry masala that is available, and it will add a lot of depth to the dish.
Okay. Yeah.
So so I'll move to the cooktop now. So what I'll do is I'll put my pan on high heat, and we will add some oil. It will be approximately 100 ml of oil that we will add.
And is the a vegetable oil or?
So traditionally, if I talk about India, we use a lot of mustard oil for our cooking.
Right.
It has a pungent taste to it. It adds a kick to the dishes.
Right.
But we can make this dish in vegetable oil, canola oil, whatever your preference is for the oil. Okay. You can also make it in olive oil.
Oh, okay.
There are a lot of people.
That's great. Yeah, because so many people they like to use olive oil.
Olive oil, like it is really good for your health. So you can use the oil of your own choice. Okay. It is not restricted to a specific oil.
Okay.
So we will let this heat a little bit, and then I'll just grab my spices and my paste. So
did you use 2 tablespoon oil, right?
Around 100 ml, so I would say half a cup.
Half a cup, okay.
Half a cup.
And how much chicken do you use?
So I'm using 750 grams of
750 gram chicken, yeah.
So it is good for a family of 4.
4 people? Yeah, it would be enough for 4 people. Yeah.
So it will be a
good
dinner,
quantity. Yeah.
Good quantity.
It comes with the gravy, so
yes, it has a gravy. So the gravy has a lot of flavor because of the spices and the condiments that we are using.
Right.
And it's really filling as well because there is some protein in the form of the chicken. There are onions and tomatoes that you will be using. So yeah, it's a
I know
meal.
people love chicken curry, butter chicken.
Oh,
those are really famous and very kind of you can find even these days you can find easily in every restaurant.
Chicken curry, yes, you will find in almost every restaurant because this is something which is very basic, but yet very flavorful. Like this is something if you have come home from after a long day, you can still make it in, I would say, like 30 to 45 minutes, and you don't have to spend a lot of time. Like butter chicken requires a lot of time, but this is something that you can get ready in like 45 minutes and enjoy it with your family.
Okay. So the chicken curry doesn't need to do marinade, right?
No, that is, again, there are different versions of chicken curry. As you know, that India is a very, versatile country. The dishes and the flavors will vary as per the region. So in North, you will find a different version of the chicken curry, but when you move to the South, you will find a different version, which also includes like coconut milk, some curry leaves.
True.
So the basic will remain the same, like you will find the tomatoes and the onions and the ginger, garlic and everything. But there will be some spices that will change when you move to from one part of the country to the other. And also, like there are some people who would like to make it without the tomatoes. You can do that. You can make it your own chicken curry.
As many variation you can do.
Yes, you can create many variations. You can.
That is the beauty of the Indian food, I think. Yeah, you can make it as easy you can, and then you can enjoy, right?
Yes, as I said, that all these spices are also optional. There are some people, if you are intolerant to dairy, you can skip the yogurt too. And you can still make the delicious chicken curry.
True.
So I think the
oil is fine. Yeah.
We'll just give it a try by adding it in. Okay, we still have to wait. I'll just crank up the heat a bit.
Okay. So oil should be really warm, right? And then
oil should be hot because we want these spices to crackle. Like if I take this cardamom pod, I can show you that there are like this little seeds inside it.
Yes.
And this is what brings the flavor to the dish. So what we want is we want these to crackle when they go in the hot oil, and they release their oils and the aroma. So that is why we are just waiting a little bit on the oil to heat up. This is also a very special ingredient, like loved in my house. This is like dried red chilies, and it adds a lot of kick and heat, which we absolutely love. So I use it a lot in my cooking.
I think these days is really good for winter, I would say.
Yes. Because all the spices add a lot of warmth to it
in the body.
Yes.
So. True.
And the ginger and the garlic too, like those are warm too, and they. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and put it, and you will.
Okay.
You can hear
we can saute.
Yes.
So same kind of paste we can use for egg curry also?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes. Okay. So as I said, this is a basic curry paste that you can use in almost all your gravies. You can make egg curry with it, chicken curry, fish curry. You can also make lamb curry with it. For people who are vegetarian, you can use it for your vegetarian curries also, like pea and potato gravy kind of a thing.
They can add potatoes in. Yep.
And you can also use this for making chickpea curry.
Chickpea curry, true. The people love chickpea curry.
Yes.
True.
So
and they can eat with naan bread or rice and whatever, right?
You can eat them with naan, bread, tortilla, like whatever you have available.
Tortilla would be good option too.
Did you
see
that? That is what you wanted.
That,
Yes. So what we'll do now is we'll go in with the paste.
So this paste is for 750 grams chicken, right?
Yes. So you can see that right now it looks a lot of paste, but once you kind of cook this, the water will evaporate and it will reduce in quantity.
Okay. You have not added tomatoes yet, right?
No. So tomatoes have a lot of water. So what we do is we let the onions and the garlic cook first. We will kind of cook this until they turn a little golden in color, and then we will add the tomatoes.
Okay.
So that also gives a deep color to the dish. That is that is a trademark of Indian curries.
Okay.
So,
I can smell though.
Can you? Right? So I will let it cook on like a little medium high heat.
And you are not going to add any kind of spice in this or later?
Not right now. So I'll let the onions cook. If I add the spices at this stage, the oil is really hot and the spices will be there in for a long time. Like these are whole spices, so we can keep in there. But the next step will be to add the powder spices. If I put them now, it will burn. Because they will be there. Like we'll be roasting them for a long time. So what we will do is, that is why I have put curd here as well. Once we saute the onions and tomatoes, after that we'll mix the spices in the curd and then we will put them. If you are going to omit the curd, then you can just put the spices directly into the gravy.
That is really good method, I think.
Yeah. So you can see that the water is kind of evaporating. And it will slowly, once we roast it, it will slowly start changing the color.
So we have to wait until it's turned in the little brown color?
Yes. It will take approximately like 7 to 8 minutes.
7 to 8 minutes.
For this to change the color. And in the meanwhile, while we're roasting this, we can go on and grind the tomatoes for the next step, get them ready. I usually don't like to wash my grinder because there's a lot of good stuff in here.
So you can use that,
I can use the same grinder to grind the tomatoes. Yep. So what I'll do is I'll just take this.
That is smart idea actually.
Yes. Saves a lot of washing. So I will just grab the knife quickly. And I have washed my tomatoes already. I will cut them in half. And then just, I like to take this off. And then just in big chunks. You don't have to
because eventually you are going to
you are going to grind it, so you don't have to be a super chef to do this. You can simply cut them in big chunks and put them in the blender. So I have taken 3 tomatoes. I like a little tanginess to the gravy. If you don't like a tangy gravy, you can also use 2. But this is what we will need for at least 750
3 tomatoes
grams
at least you need.
Yes. So I'll just go and grind it to get a smooth paste ready. And you will not need any additional water for tomatoes because it has a
natural
high water
in
content.
it. So
we are done. So the tomato paste is ready. As you can see that I have not added any water, but it is not very runny, it is not very thick, it is just the perfect consistency. So I will quickly give this.
An onion looks brown right now.
Yes. You can see that it is changing the color. It is turning a little bit brown, like we wanted. And one way of knowing if your masala has roasted is also that you will see that there is no water and you will start seeing some oils on this oil which is separating on the side. So it is an indication that your the roasting is done. And you can move on to the next stage.
And you can add the tomato paste.
Yes. So I'll just give it a quick mix. See, when we started it was green and now it is brown.
It's brown,
And you can also see oil on the side of the pan.
We can see it,
So now we can go ahead and move to the next step, which is
So oil has to be little like you can see on your by your eyes.
Yes,
oil has to be separate.
Yes, you will be able to, and it's an indication that the roasting is done.
Done, yeah.
If you roast any further, it will burn the masala.
Masala, yeah.
In here. And we don't want to get that, burning smell in the food. We want that beautiful aroma in here.
Yes.
So we'll go ahead and add the tomatoes in here. You can see I have added all the 3 tomatoes. And then we are going to mix this. So when we add the tomatoes, because they are high in water, you will see the mixture bubbling up. So you have to be a little careful that you don't get...
And is mixer becoming a more thick, I think, right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Because, the water is kind of evaporating. So it will turn into a paste-like form, which is low in water.
Okay.
So... And it is also important that we get rid of the water that was in here to help it roast.
Right.
So I will leave it for a while.
Approximately 3-4 minutes?
Again, yeah, it can take a little longer for the tomatoes because again the water is a little bit more than in onions and garlic. So around 7 to 8 minutes.
7 to 8 minutes, okay.
I'll just keep on, mixing it again and again so that it helps the water to evaporate, and also it doesn't, stick to the sides and it doesn't burn. So you can see how this is bubbling up. This is a weekend routine in my family that, once we hit Friday, there has to be chicken, and chicken curry is something which is loved by everybody.
Right.
So,
and it goes with anything like rice or naan bread or...
Yes.
Or maybe you can eat alone with only like chicken.
I sometimes like to eat the masala with bread also.
Okay.
It tastes delicious.
Right.
And again, we like to make our own chapatis or flatbread, but if you're strict on time, you can just buy, frozen naans or frozen chapatis, or you can boil some rice and eat it with that as well.
Yep. It's very easy.
It is very easy.
Yeah.
And after a busy week, on Friday you don't want to cook something which is, labor intensive, which requires a lot of prep and cooking.
True.
So this is something you can just blend some, onions and, spices in the jar. And
I think this is perfect flavorful choice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it is coming together. I'll give it a couple of more minutes.
Make chickpeas also in that, right? Yeah.
Because we use the same base. The dry masala will be different. Like in chickpeas, we use a lot of tangy, something that adds that tanginess, that sour flavor.
Right.
So we use dry mango powder. We use cumin powder to add that tanginess, which we don't use in chicken curry.
No. Yeah.
So this is I can say a base of most of the curries, and you can add your own variation.
Right.
Like you can also add chicken stock if you want to make it more flavorful. I like to cook my chicken curry in water. Like I'll add water to the base and let it boil so that it incorporates all the flavors. But again, you can add chicken.
Yeah, because the chickpeas is a good idea for vegetarian, and it's a lot of protein, right?
Yes.
So,
again, yeah.
Right.
And again, a little trick, like my family prefers to eat in-bone chicken, like bone-in chicken, but if the boneless pieces cook much faster. So again, if you're short on time, make the base, add the boneless pieces, and I think they will be done in 15 minutes.
Wow.
The bone-in pieces will take a little longer to cook, but I also feel that the bone-in pieces add a lot more flavor.
Right,
but
right.
I think it is completely
up to
a personal
the
choice.
people.
It's a
So
personal choice.
how much time you have, you can
Yes.
you can adjust with that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, true.
And when we cook the chicken pieces in this, like they are really tender and flavorful, and you can feel that flavor absorbed in those pieces. So
And chicken, like you, do you suggest any kind of specific things about chicken, or like any kind of chicken they can use, or?
I think again it's a personal choice. Some people like to use organic chicken, but
Okay.
like I'm good with the chicken that I get from Costco or my local produce shop.
Okay.
So whatever you prefer. There are some communities that prefer halal chicken.
Okay.
There are some communities that are okay with non-halal also. So again, I think it's more of a personal choice. What kind of chicken do you want?
You want, okay.
But
So there is not need to specific kind of chicken, right?
no,
So
like I'm good with
Okay.
it. I'm
Okay.
good with halal, non-halal, organic, non-organic. I'm good with it.
Okay.
So you can see that this is also it has started coming together. It is a lot less liquidy than it was before. It is, in the paste kind of form. But I still need to wait for a couple of minutes because I don't see the oil separating right now.
Right.
So that is important because it will add
That
a
is kind
lot
of trick to
that is a
make
trick.
more flavorful,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes. So you have to let the ingredients roast in the oil to bring out the maximum flavor. So good things take time.
Right, right.
In the meanwhile, while we're waiting for this to cook, I will prep my yogurt mix and my chicken also.
For yogurt, did you take the normal yogurt, Astro?
So
one?
I have used the Astro full fat yogurt because
Okay, full fat yogurt.
This is 6% yogurt. You can also use 3% if you are trying a healthier
but
version.
you said before you want to get the creamy.
I want to add a little creaminess, a little fat because it also adds to the flavor of the dish.
Right.
Because chicken is a lean meat, I don't mind adding a full fat yogurt in there to add a little taste.
Right.
To it, and it also add a lot of creaminess which brings the gravy together.
Yeah, so fatty yogurt definitely does make difference, right?
It does, but it does. I think like if you use butter instead of margarine, it makes a difference, right? So similarly, if you add full fat yogurt, it will add a little extra layer of that creaminess.
Right.
But because I focus my cooking on healthy as well, so I'm okay with switching it to 3%, but sometimes I like to indulge.
Right.
Okay, so we are ready to put the yogurt mix in. What I will do is I will add my spices to the yogurt so that they don't burn, and it also kind of makes it easy for me to melt them in the sauce here.
Okay.
So what I will do is I'll add half a teaspoon of red chili powder in here and a generous spoon of turmeric because it has antioxidant properties, and it is really good for your stomach. I will add one teaspoon of ground coriander powder. It adds a earthy flavor to the dish, and it really brings a strong aroma as well. And then I will add some salt, I would say based on the quantity of the chicken.
Yes. Okay.
But we will definitely need around 1.5 teaspoon
for
of
the
salt.
750 gram chicken. It is,
But again, you can taste your dish. If you need more, you can add more.
Right.
If you want to go light on salt, you can also use less salt. So what I'll do is I will mix this. So you can see it is changing color.
Right.
With all the spices. And then we will put this in.
Wow.
And we will mix.
So yogurt
this.
does help to make mix well, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It helps in mixing well, and it will also add a little thickness to the gravy. As I said, that I won't be using stock, I will be using water. So it will help in making the gravy a little thicker.
Okay.
So once we do this, we will give it a good mix, and then we are ready to put in the chicken.
Okay.
And you can see how beautiful the colors look here,
Right.
with all the spices in. So here's the chicken. So I have already cleaned and washed my chicken. So we are ready to put it in the gravy here.
Okay.
So I will put my chicken pieces. And I'm putting the chicken pieces before adding any water, because I want to roast the chicken a little bit too.
Okay.
So I will coat the chicken in the sauce that we have created here, and sear it a bit. Okay.
So I think chicken absorbs spice well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what this will help in doing is that it will also kind of, roast the chicken a little bit. That will add, in the flavor, and it will absorb all the, spices that
Right.
we have put in here. So you can see how well the chicken is coated
Right.
in the gravy that we have made here. And it will also, start changing the color a
Color
bit.
also. Yeah.
So you can see that because we are cooking for our family, you won't see a lot of oil. Like typically when you go into a restaurant, you can see a layer of oil on the top,
True.
which is really
Unhealthy.
not very
Yes,
healthy.
not really healthy. Yeah.
So what you can do is, when you're cooking at your home, you can control the ingredients that you want to use.
Everything.
You can switch to a healthier version. You can use fresh, natural ingredients.
Right.
And
and still you can get flavor.
yes, you can get all the flavor, which is made with love.
Right.
So you can see now that everything is coming together, and the chicken pieces are also changing color. It was pink in
Right.
the beginning, but it is turning a little golden here.
So how much time chicken will take to cook?
It will be done in almost 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also when you're roasting the masalas, you really don't have to stand. Like if it is on high heat, then you have to keep an eye. But otherwise, if you can turn it on medium and do something,
Okay.
and come
Okay.
back to the roasting.
Okay. Are you going to add some water or not?
I will add a
Okay.
little bit of water so that
Okay.
we can get that gravy,
Okay.
and then we can,
Let it cook and
yes,
okay.
we'll put the lid on and let it cook.
Okay.
And once we add the water and put it on like low heat, then you can
You can do other things
do other
and
thing
just
and
yeah.
let the chicken cook for at least 15 minutes. So the boneless chicken will be done a lot quicker.
Right.
This will take a little more time. I would
Yeah.
say like you can add 10 minutes more
Right.
to the
But
bone chicken.
I would say still you can do everything in a 30 minutes. I think this dish you can
Yes.
make ready in 30 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will give you a little secret, which I generally do. When I have a busy work week, what I do is I make the masala. I will grind a lot of onions and tomatoes and ginger and garlic. I'll roast the masala. I'll cool it and keep in an airtight container and keep it in my fridge.
Okay.
So, like whenever I have
So
to
when
cook
you
something,
get chance, you can make
Yes.
this paste and make it in
I don't
deep
have to do
freeze.
anything. I just have to take the container
Right.
out, put it in the pan, heat it a little bit, add the chicken, and I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't have to really roast the masala like every day. I can do it once in a week, or you can keep it in the fridge for at least a month, and it is still homemade.
Wow.
Right?
So I think
without
this is
any
the
preservatives.
this is the tip of the day.
This is the tip of the day.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you can again see that the oil has started separating here. Right?
Right.
You can see on the sides,
Right,
and
yeah.
that is also an indication that you are good to add the water.
Water. Okay.
So what I'll do is, so I will add a glass of water here, a little bit at a time. I will let this mix. And you can again adjust the water, how
Right.
much water you want to add, depending on whether you want your gravy thick or do you want it thin.
Little thin, yeah.
And then so I think this is a little thick. I would like it a little thinner because
more
it will
water,
cook,
yes.
and the water will evaporate too. So I will add more here, and we are good to go. So now what I'll do is I'll just cover it with the lid. Okay, so there's one important ingredient that we still have to add, and this is a homemade chicken curry masala that I was telling you about,
Okay.
right?
But this is homemade.
This is homemade. So what we have here is we have roasted all the dry spices that
Which
I
one
just
you showed
you.
already? Okay.
Yeah. And it also has cumin in it. It also has red chilies in it, and it also has a little bit of mango powder, but the quantity is very controlled, so that
Dry mango powder.
yes,
Okay.
very little. And that is optional. If you want, you can also omit it. But the major part of this curry paste is cumin and coriander powder, and the spices that I showed you.
Right.
So what we can do is we can also add a little bit of it, because this is in ground form. It will add more flavor to it.
Flavored, yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll add.
People can find that is in a market also,
Absolutely,
right?
you
Yeah.
don't have to make it at home.
Chicken
you
curry
can,
masala, yeah.
You can simply go ahead and buy it from the market.
Okay.
So this is done. Again, give it a good mix. And then we'll cover it. Okay. So I cover it here, and then we'll put it on low flame, and then we can come back to this after 15 minutes to check on it. Yes. Okay, so let's check on the chicken now.
So this looks good and really yummy, and it's all cooked.
So that is what I wanted to talk about. You can see here on the sides there is this red layer of oil that you can see. What we call this is rogan in India. So the chili powder that we added to the dish, it forms a layer on the top with the oil and the fats. So this is also an indication that the excess water has evaporated and the dish is ready.
Ready, okay.
So
that's called rogan, eh?
it is called rogan, and it adds a beautiful color and a beautiful design to the dish. You can see it floating on the top, but you will see that it's not a very thick layer of oil. You will only find it on the sides.
Side, yeah.
So these are the healthy fats that we can eat.
Right.
So this is almost done. Let me just kind of give it one more minute. So what I'm going to do is I'll serve the chicken with some rice today. This is plain steamed rice.
Okay.
Again, you can make a variation of this also. You can either make some jeera rice, which is cumin rice. The cumin also adds a little bit of earthiness to the dish. You can also make pea pulao kind of a rice, but I like my chicken best with steamed rice.
Steamed rice and plain rice, yeah.
Plain rice, yeah. So
and plain rice can make easily in a rice cooker also, right?
you can either make it in a rice cooker, or you can make it in an open vessel also. You can boil it, and or you can steam it. So there are different ways that you can make it. So whatever works best for you. So to make it a little bit fancy, what I'll do is I have put the rice in the bowl, and I'm going to kind of turn it upside down.
Okay.
So that we get a
little
kind of
design.
Yeah.
Nice. It looks good. Yeah. So usually people here are people very fond of the basmati rice. They always
Yes.
ask about. So is this basmati rice?
This is basmati rice.
Okay.
This is basmati rice. I get mine from Costco. Again, you can choose your own store. You can go to your local store and buy it from there also. And I feel again, everybody has their own preference for rice. Like some people like basmati, some like sticky rice. So you can enjoy it with any kind of rice that you like.
True. Yeah.
So what I'll do is we have the rice ready here. I will put some chicken. What we are going to do is we are going to serve it and get a taste of it. So what we can do is we can make a dome of rice like this. Either you can put it on the top or you can also put it on the sides with the gravy. What I'm going to do is add a little bit of a couple of pieces, some spices, and some gravy here. We're going to drown the rice in chicken gravy. Okay. And then to add a little bit of color and some freshness, we are using cilantro leaves here. And then just, sprinkle it on the top. And we have a piping hot plate of homemade chicken curry with basmati rice that you can enjoy with your family. Thank you.
It's so good. Looks good. Really good.
Thank you.
Very tempting.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Vandana. It was really wonderful, and I think it's really easy and delicious recipe, and hope people really would love this. If you have any question, you can contact Vandana. You can ask her, and hopefully we'll see you next time.